There's only one way to start.
The defenders that have performed at VVD's level is Rio, John Terry, and Vidic. I mean, how long are we gonna act like this guy's a top striker, man? Champions League final.
We got to the Champions League final and lost to Liverpool. I'm cool. I've accepted that.
Cool
Moved on.
Worst week ever as a Spurs fan.
I think the most pertinent issue that we can discuss, and I've said that I'm not.
Guy loves a big word.
That's the dumbest thing you've said on this podcast. You just said
Spurs
are in turmoil. You know you want to say it. Don't let him press you.
Get 20% off all Manscaped products plus free shipping with the promo code STTV.
Hey, this is how I know the comments rattle, Cam, yeah? We was at the O2 watching boxing. Amongst the thousands, he's saying, I know one of these dickheads is in the 360 comments chatting shit. I need to punch someone in the... Bro, he was waving. But it's the face he had. He was looking for niggas like,
he thought it was
one of these guys. I'm telling you.
That's too funny.
Bro.
Same in, yeah? Alright, cool.
Yeah?
Oh, shit.
Boom.
New contract.
Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We're live in the flesh, live and direct in effect. You already know what time it is. Coming to you straight from the studio. New year, new blessings to you, your families. Let's get it this year. How's everyone doing? Everyone blessed?
Amazing.
I'm glad you guys are. I'm glad you guys are. I'm glad you guys are. We already know what sort of episode it's going to be today. I don't know what the title is going to be yet, but we already know what's going to happen. So, without further ado, hold tight the 3-point collectors.
Lovely stuff.
It's good to be back.
Hold tight the participants. And not Chelsea. We didn't participate still. No, but you participated in the loss. We didn't really participate in our loss. So yeah, you're a participant.
That's what I'm saying.
So, let's hold tight the teams that are losing 3-1 at home.
Yep.
And, disgracing themselves.
Hold tight the teams that 6 games, 1 win, 1 draw. But as is because we did it with Arsenal, so this has become the tradition with any team that's holding licks.
Oh well,
we have to play a theme song.
Run a little rhythm.
We have to run a theme song. Yeah.
Hey, listen, there's always a vibe on Stoppage Time TV.
Oh, we're playing this again, yeah?
Yeah, this is what happens when.
Hey, it's my favorite song, Big Man Ting. I love this song.
Chelsea.
Chelsea. It's funny. That's a Jamaican song, right? That's a Jamaican song. It does not suit Chelsea at all.
Say it's a Jamaican song.
It's a Jamaican song,
man.
I believe.
West Brom play it as well, but
Liquidator.
Boy,
Chelsea
getting liquidated right now. Listen, let's go into match review and then we'll talk about 3 different points. I know you've come some stuff you want to get off. No, you probably want to address some stuff. I've got stuff I want to speak about. Let's speak about the game. Man City, best they looked all season, right? Fair to say.
Yeah.
With a weakened squad as well. But
that was no goalkeeper.
Yep, no certified striker.
Wait, a goalkeeper that doesn't know the back pass rule as well.
Yeah.
Let's acknowledge that.
That's funny.
And then no recognised striker.
No recognised striker.
COVID.
Disrupted plans as well. I guess you can see it on both sides, rest or not, but disrupted. That team's been disrupted. Best performance they've put out this season.
Easily.
Pressing was back. Fluidity was there. Just killer instinct as well. And for the first sort of like 20 minutes, it was kind of like foreplay, and then it's like, you know what, enough of this.
Bro,
just started hamming, just a real legit
Rondo sessions
hamming.
for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, literally, it was just sort of like, and then you just said, yeah, enough of this. Let's put the sword up. And yeah, as much as they were great, Chelsea, abysmal. People say second half picked up, but the second half will pick up if the other team that scored 3 goals is pretty cool. And it's kind of letting you do your thing. And even with that, didn't really produce anything after that. Then City thought, okay, what, these men want more? Cool, let's switch it on again. So it just goes to show. I think I said at the top, that is 6 games now. 1 win against West Ham, 1 draw, 4 defeats. And it's a very different story from when it was 11 games played, top, and then now to where you're 8th, and we've lost 5 games, and that's so it's gone from literally, so it's gone from one loss
this is too funny.
to 5 losses. So it's
For you,
not
yeah,
good.
as a Chelsea fan, considering like last week, you kind of said you kind of can't see Frank taking us to the promised land after a big game like this at home, losing like that. How much longer? I know you said last week you don't know when, but does a result like this give you any clearer indication on Lamps' future?
It does, because when you look at, tell you what, the first thing to address and to answer what you're saying, when you look at kind of Lampard's tenure at Chelsea, a lot of it was built on the fact that he couldn't sign anyone in the first season, and he managed to achieve getting to top 4 with losing Hazard and not having players and everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I was guilty of, which I came in beginning of the season and said, and I think a lot of Chelsea fans are, is we're kind of saying here is expectations as Lampard as a new manager versus the club's expectations. And the club's expectations are you have to be hitting top 4. So if Lampard does it, he's done what the club expects.
Yeah.
Because he's overachieved, because he's young and everything, doesn't always have to give you extra credit in the bank.
Right.
And what we've got now is a situation where if you look at everything in totality, he has played had a lot of games. His win percentage is less. And even if you look at the way other managers were treated, we've had 2 managers that were sacked after winning European titles, and they weren't in as bad as this position. So his stock as a Chelsea legend and what he did last season is holding him. The question now...
When does that run out, though?
That's what I'm saying.
When
The
does
question you
that
have to
run
ask
out?
yourself as well is, if you look at Lampard, do you feel like he can get any better than his best moments in the job at the moment, being so young in his career? I don't know. I honestly can't say, you know what, even if this bad form stops, we're going to reach new heights. I can't say that for sure. And in this sort of game...
Because before this game as
Why is
well, a
it
lot of
increasing?
Chelsea fans are thinking this lineup is actually arguably the lineup that's strongest right now.
But even...
Ziyech is back.
Yeah, this
Kovacic
is the
is
lineup
back,
they've been
Yeah.
begging for.
N'Golo
And-
Kante,
and even
like
with
everybody was lined up in their preferred roles as
Yeah.
well.
And even
And
with
then to
that,
be embarrassed like that.
what you come to realize, I tweeted it, I feel like wearing, because we've not been at the heights we wanted to be for so long, any little sign of like success or fortune, some people go way over the mark instead of kind of being like, okay, well, we're on a journey here. So for instance, we go to first in the table, we're the best thing since sliced bread.
Mo, you said you're the best defense in the league.
I said I'll be up there with City.
No, you said you're the best.
I said we're up there.
You said you're
You
the best.
said-
I
and I said
rebutted
we're
of
up
City,
there.
if I'm not
You said-
mistaken.
yes,
You
you
said
I
did.
it.
rebutted of City,
You
right?
said it, and I said,
Oh
then
my
you said
God.
T, and I said,
No,
we'll check the tapes.
Yeah,
But
we will check the tapes
We'll check the tapes.
because the fullback pairing of James and Chilwell apparently were just below the Robbo and thingy, and with Van Dijk out, with Fabinho in, it was Zuma and Thiago Silva have now formed the best partnership. So all in all, when we came, I said, "Have you guys got the best defense in the league?" And you said yes.
No, he
But
made
anyway,
a seat point. I said,
but
no,
yeah,
but
yeah,
either way,
but
that's detracting. In terms of, I don't
now
feel,
you don't. Now you don't have the best defense in the league.
I'm not saying what I'm saying in terms of,
Are you
record
two?
wise, no. Record wise, we don't. Record wise, we don't.
So you changed your mind.
Record wise, we don't.
You changed your mind.
Well, the situation has changed.
Fair
As you
enough.
like to say last week, the situation
Hey,
changes.
I'm just
Wait.
saying you changed your mind. That's all.
with that. But even on that, that's a prime example in terms of in the moment when things happening. It's like, okay, great. Another example I can give: Pulisic, next Hazard, that sort of shout and everything, which was after the post lockdown. I'm not even trying to take away from Pulisic, but if you look at his form, there's a lot of
Excitement.
excitement, but there's
They gave him number
Lit-
10.
and I
I
think
think
it's-
yeah.
but
Start some sell.
Hey, listen. Production.
just make-
Production. That's what the comments said.
There's just loads of moments where just because one thing's happening, great. And you alluded to it in terms of where Chelsea fans probably get away with stuff. I do agree with that. Just because something's going good doesn't mean that, oh yeah, it's this amazing. No, it's a journey. And
But the thing is,
a lot
But
of
is this
stuff
part
will
of the
be pushed
journey? Is this kind of run of
I don't
fixtures
think
now?
no. This right now
Like-
is not. I don't think any top team should be losing that much in that sort of period. And people say that, oh yeah, December's always been traditionally bad, but you don't. Why is it every time that we come up against a somewhat decent opposition, we just look poor? Even the West Ham game. That West Ham game was it 3-0? That wasn't a 3-0 game.
I told you,
It wasn't
you
a
guys
3-0
haven't
game.
been playing good all season. Haven't been playing good all season. You
They-
got
they-
through. You got
they-
through
they-
a few. You got through a couple games, right? And now against the big teams, that you guys just don't have the formula to beat.
You
the
have
big
also
teams.
mentioned that
And this is-
we've done well as well.
Yeah,
So-
some players have done all right, but at the same
no,
time,
you said Chelsea are warming
hey,
up. You said
listen,
that.
can I finish my point? Thank
Go
you very
on.
much. So
Go on.
It's
You
my
had-
turn.
You
It's
guys-
my turn.
listen, you guys haven't played that well all season. You've got the talent. I thought you guys have got the talent, which you do have the talent, but Lampard can't get the best out of him. And then there's stats to prove it, mate. He's actually Chelsea's worst ever manager if you're talking about points per game.
Abramovich era, yeah.
So statistically, Lampard's your worst ever manager, and Lampard. Villas-Boas got sacked in half the games Lampard managed.
So did
Scolari, so did Benitez, so did Avram Grant, so did Di Matteo. So he's actually had longer than all of them, and he's the worst manager of Chelsea's history under Abramovich. Those are only facts. It's not even an opinion. And so, really
has he not spent more?
He spent more.
Look how much money he's had.
We were talking before when I was saying, all right, Di Matteo won the Champions League. What did he get afterwards? Hazard was already kind of sorted. He got Hazard, Hazard's brother, Moses, Marco Marion, and
Salah coming out.
Oscar. He got Oscar, well. And then he got someone else, and that was all for probably less than 50 million and everything. We're about to get locked out Champions League. They got already. No. In terms, okay, but let's say about 60, 70, 35 or something like that, and then Oscar was like 20 something. The rest of them were like 10. And yeah, exactly. But
either way,
regardless of the point, he got sacked, and that leads to my first point. I feel like the reason why nothing's happened yet is it time to go? I believe it is. I believe it is because I don't. Again, this bad form could stop, but what are the heights that we can achieve? I don't think they're any higher than what we've kind of shown already. Yeah. So why are you then in a situation where you're kind of almost delaying the inevitable? The thing that is really awkward as well is this season's kind of been like constant. And if we're all saying that he's not great at managerial decisions or tactics and everything, in those games where you're playing back-to-back games, you don't even have time to quickly turn over or do something. So ultimately, we're kind of hindering ourselves. The question begs now is, who would you then bring in? Who is then available?
So what was the point of sacking Sarri?
Literally, because what has improved?
Because you see, when I said Chelsea fans are fickle, they ran him out. You know, they ran Sarri out. Let's not forget that you ran Sarri out.
And remember why they brought Sarri in, because Conte, even though he was winning, his style of football wasn't appeasing. We want something improving. So every time it's fickleness.
No, everything. With Lampard, everything's been based on style of football, allegedly. Conte's style of football wasn't great.
During Lampard now, what is he? 18 months in. What's his style of play?
Fake Liverpool.
What's the team's identity? No, we only said that like 2 weeks ago because they're using the fullbacks. Yeah. But that's not what Lampard, I don't think he's trying to do. I don't know what Lampard's trying to build. The inconsistency with the lineup and the tactics every week. You don't know who the best team is. Right now, if I told you to name me Chelsea's starting 11, you probably couldn't.
No one can.
This is what I'm saying.
No one knows. Do you know what a big issue for me is?
He doesn't improve players. We've said bad in-game management. And then the two big star signings that were supposed to come in and he's supposed to integrate and improve the teams, he's not able to kind of do that. So what is keeping Lampard in the job right now? January window is here. February's coming around the corner when Champions League comes back in. Chelsea, if I know Roman Abramovich, they don't ramp about. And for me right now, I think Chelsea are in a situation where they seriously need to look at Lampard's future.
I don't think
Chelsea got to go back to their heritage, man. Chelsea's successful managers, the Joses, the Contes, Ancelotti, even Di Matteo, not really so much. No, I'm not saying he's the defensive or anything, but I'm saying there's a manager out there. They're all like proven managers, right? Proven managers. You got Allegri sitting there. He's a proven manager. He's more about what Chelsea have been built on. Chelsea have been built on what Jose Mourinho started. Ancelotti did his little thing. Conte's done his little thing. But this whole, hipster, kind of manager isn't Chelsea's DNA, mate. Like, I know your DNA only started a few years ago, but it's not really Chelsea's DNA. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You know what I like about the Allegri option as well? I think I said it a couple of weeks ago, where I think he comes in and finishes off projects. Whether it be picking up from someone's foundations, Ancelotti or Conte. I feel like now, Lampard, cool, you've put in a nice couple of pieces. Let Allegri come in now and finish that job off. Because I feel like he can. He's kind of a proven winner. The pragmatic Chelsea, what Chelsea have historically won with, he fits that bill. And how many Italian managers have you had over the years?
Chelsea love it. They've had Vialli, they had
ticks all the boxes.
Conte,
Ancelotti.
Bro, Italian guys.
I'll ask you, man, this question, in terms of a football club of Chelsea's stature, giving 200 mil at that time to someone like Lampard, what's your views on that? Do you think do you think it's premature being someone so young?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think they did the right thing. They backed their manager. They believe the legend came in. They backed their manager. The thing is, it's the manager's now not providing what he's been given the tools with now. He's not getting the output out of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do now? It's, do you stick with it and say, do you know what, we'll trust it. It's okay if we get knocked out of the Champions League, don't qualify for Champions League. That's the
Well,
sacrifice
listen,
we take.
sorry, we're just chiming there. Well, that what you've mentioned there for me is why I feel like
Because
action's
top
coming really
4
soon.
could be at stake.
No, because it's not even that for me. I don't. I'm production. You can back that up.
Top
if
4,
I
they
don't
better
know.
start thinking
Listen,
about it.
sir,
Further
bro,
down, man.
I don't recall
Right,
a
top
period
4.
longer than 2 seasons where we've not won
Oi.
anything, and we didn't win anything
the
last
Chelsea
year.
way is
Therefore-
silverware some way,
Therefore,
somehow,
this
every
season,
season.
this season is a must. There's no League Cup. So it's, realistically, it's what FA Cup, Champions League.
What happened in the
So-
League Cup? Oh shit, yeah. Sorry.
Or you-
I actually forgot. No, I
You're
actually
so
forgot.
dumb. You're so dumb. And that, for me personally, I feel like even because obviously it comes down to Abramovich. Even if it's like, you know what, this guy's my guy. He won loads of trophies on his head and everything. It's gonna come down to the stock you have in the bank or my personal reputation, which is, listen, I need to win something this year. So, and I think the latter is going to give. And you know what, it's a shame. And I'll be honest, especially when it's like a club legend and everything. But we have to address the facts, which are at the time when Lampard was appointed. If you were to do like a normal application process, was he like the prime candidate for the role?
Hell no.
Or
Hell
You
no.
guys
You lot
push
got
Sarri
rose-
out. That's all it is.
No, I'm just asking
Rose
questions.
tinted glasses, and you lot
he's
said,
not-
"Oh, he did something with
And
Derby."
I think
Play
and
off.
the thing is, what people
Nope.
say as well is they'll bring
He
the
was
sort
not
of
fit for the
examples of Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, and everything. Pep Guardiola was our manager in Barcelona B. He took players from that team, implemented them, and this guy was prepped for this for a long time, and he had the philosophy which they understood and was like, okay, you know what, just go and build upon that.
Am I not
Jose
right in saying
Mourinho
as
was
well,
someone that.
It was around the time Ollie had come in and just had his nice little run.
Didn't I?
And you lot kind of saw them do the former player thing.
But I said it
and
at
you lot were
the
just
start of
copying
this
the
season.
formula.
I said Ollie
That's what I
inspired a
thought.
generation with Pirlo
Arteta,
and all them. I said
Pirlo.
Ollie inspired a generation.
Bro, I'm not even joking.
What the hell?
I think
That might be-
I don't want to reference it all the way back
It
to it. I
could
think
be.
they saw Ollie doing that and they
I would
thought
have
we
to
could
dig.
maybe have the
I would
same.
have to dig.
Because
I'm
the
not too sure.
whispers around Sarri came mid-season. Everyone knew
yeah.
Sarri was going by the end of
He
the
was a
season.
dead man walking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
That's
But
why the Juve job kind of opened up towards the end because they knew it was
And he
released.
won.
But
What about when we've
and
been?
they sacked Sarri and now they're not winning the title.
What about when we started this? Every week we started stoppage time, yeah, and it's been Arsenal losing, Arsenal losing, Arsenal losing. And it's been like, do you know what? We don't need to discuss Arsenal because they're not even, Arsenal. There's no point wasting our
Do you know
breath.
what's so funny?
You know that you lot are only 3 points ahead of Arsenal.
I know, but
Bro,
you know what's so funny? What did I do last week?
Speak on it.
I came out and said, you know what, Arsenal fans, I got it wrong. I put my hands up and
Hey,
said, you know what, I apologize.
Relegation candidates
Look
Arsenal.
down the tunnel and
apologize.
apologize.
I apologised last week. I'm not
Hey,
apologising. Yeah?
relegation candidates Arsenal are 3 points behind title challengers Chelsea. I don't know how this is working.
Listen,
I don't know,
You know,
I don't know how this is
It
working.
was off his own accord saying,
Bro.
"Yo, we shouldn't even discuss Arsenal."
shouldn't discuss
You
them.
should- I said, "Yo, we still got a big fan base out there, you know." He's like,
It's
"Nah, let's leave off the
semantics.
agenda."
They're not as
Bro.
good as Wolves. Don't forget, Wolves are better.
semantic.
Now
The
you're
thing
only
is,
3
yeah.
points ahead of them.
Yeah, I know, but I feel
you
like
are the ones that gave them the kickstart
listen,
as well.
We've given,
And now they
we
can
might have
see-
given City one as well.
Hey,
But on that point, like I said last week, I addressed it. I said, you know what, that was probably too early jumping the gun. Even though Arsenal have turned form,
a lot of change
that
in
was
your
too early.
mind in this last
But
week, boy.
what I would say,
Your
you're
mind
a
is
dickhead.
changing bears.
You're a dickhead.
What is going on
What
there?
I'll say here is one thing that's been really notable this season is there's been a lot of, you guys probably had it for a little bit. You had it. We're having it now. Arsenal had it. There's the run of games, maybe 3 or 4 games where something's not going right, and then it leads to sort of, the club's in crisis. Every single club has had a quotation mark crisis.
Yeah.
You guys, people are saying Jose out in terms of your little few games.
Last week, bro.
You've had that.
Every week.
Like
it's
I can name
fucking
probably
changing.
about 6 clubs that have had it. Like, and that's not even just the big clubs. That in general, it's like, this is shit. Things going, get him out. What I will say though is, in terms of Chelsea's situation, you have to look beyond the surface. There's a lot of stuff that underlying isn't right. This right now is a blip, but even if we overcome the blip, there's still things that need to be changed.
Yeah.
Like, we could win our next game, and it doesn't mean we're back on. Like,
If Lampard
Sacking
keeps,
Lampard
if
wouldn't be
Lampard keeps,
reactionary, basically.
but if Lampard,
thank you. That's a perfect.
wouldn't
it
be
wouldn't be
reactionary.
reactionary.
but if
because-
Lampard
warranted.
keeps not playing Giroud, it's gonna cost him his job. It's as simple as that.
Is
If
that?
they
Would you
keep
say it's
it-
an ego thing?
It's gonna.
Would you say
I
it's an
don't
ego
know
thing?
because
Because this is 2 years in a row now.
But
This
when
is
I
2 years in a
see,
row.
even when I see them talk about, every single match, because Giroud basically feels like he scores every game.
They pan the
They
camera to him.
speak. They speak to Lampard after the game. Giroud scored, and it's kind of like he's very reluctant to give Giroud like credit for scoring. I'm looking at him. I'm like, why don't you like Giroud, bro?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
That's a good
he's
shot.
very reluctant. It's kind of like, yeah, you know, Giroud's doing well, but you could just tell it's like, but I don't want Giroud to be the one scoring the goals.
When the pressure comes from external to play that person, and you see that person have an effect, you don't feel like it's coming from you.
No, but you can't.
He doesn't feel like
he's gonna cost him. What is Lampard doing?
The more he plays,
you can't have.
The more people will say,
No, but the thing is, you can't have
playing.
egos because last season he saved our season. In 2020, he was our top goal scorer. Therefore, he has stuck in the bank.
I don't get you've got cross merchant Ziyech just crossing it in 30 times a game
to a short striker
to Werner and Pulisic at the back post.
And
it's not gonna work when you got Giroud a target man. No. Tammy is the worst target man I've ever seen in my life. But you've got Giroud who's actually a target man and can actually head a football. And you guys aren't putting. I don't get that.
What?
This Werner is he left. I said to you guys up front, Werner in the Premier League it's gonna be funny to see. And look,
I think I think he's just
look.
I think he's
football Chelsea paying for Werner. We all know. Listen, what's that guy's name? Nagelsmann said. I'm gonna keep repeating it because that's the manager that had him playing at his best. When he left Chelsea, remember he didn't want to carry on for the season. He came to Chelsea early. When they said, are you going to miss Werner against Atletico? What Nagelsmann said is, we're not going to miss Werner because this isn't the type of game for him. A low block Atletico, Werner's not going to do nothing.
Against
Chelsea, in the puts, come to Chelsea, look at
it. My City's defensive shape, I've got to say, this season's improved as well.
We were saying that they've gone like back to like this sort of new sort
but
of
that's not something we usually relate to Pep. That's the only thing I say. I feel like that's evolution from Pep, having been in the Premier League now for a couple of years. I feel like he knows. Like they were actually defending as a unit.
I'll say it's a
without the striker as well. I don't know. I was impressed.
I think it's a combination
of that might be sometimes costing them when they're going forward. That's why maybe they're not as precise and as clinical.
No, but you know what I've noticed in terms of the games they've played, the opposition has been like all right, but it's been kind of like, you know what, we have that sort of stability. But today, remember, the press wasn't there. So if the press isn't there, you have to find another way to defend. Usually, all these previous seasons, their way of defending was getting the ball off you. You're not even going to kind of get to the defense because we're just going to be hustling and busting. Today, they had kind of that perfect mixture of both. First part of the game, all in our faces, do what it needs to do. For the rest of the game, okay, we just need to chill now. We don't need to start running around and everything. And I guess that is probably him sort of figuring out. And they are ticking a lot. What?
Man, Diaz is doing his thing. You got to give him the credit. To be fair.
If you're going to say that, you're going to say that. Okay.
I know you hate it.
All people that kind of say John Stones.
I know you don't like him.
Yeah, John Stones doing all right, but I'm not going to jump the gun with Stones. I've seen a lot of bad stuff from Stones. So I'm not gonna say nothing. Because if you start praising John Stones, this is why the Zuma overhype got too much.
I want to see a consistent.
Can we please let's not be around bush. Let's please address Kante. Please. Let's address Kante.
You were right.
Let's address Kante. Nah. All the tackle and stat statistics. Let's address Kante because that was a 0 out of 10 today. That was a 0 out of 10. I haven't seen a performance so bad in a long time. He got absolutely bossed. He was losing the ball. The basics. He was getting skipped past. It was easy. He made Sterling sometimes went past him like it was prime Ronaldinho, mate. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And this is the guy that, you know, everyone will post the tackle and interceptions and not actually watch what's going on. The guy is not. I've said it before, and maybe because it's coming from me, people don't want to hear it. But now look, 360 just posted something of Raheem Sterling running past Kante. Go check the comments. Oh my God, Kante's finished, man. Kante's finished. But when I told you guys months and months, even seasons ago, oh, I'm deluded. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is why I say don't shoot the messenger, because at the end of the day, now you're taking in the message from somebody else. That's all it is. He's not the same. Do you think he's the same guy? He hasn't been good since 2017. He hasn't been good since 2017.
I said the impact has gone, but do you know what the reality of it is?
And by the way, he doesn't lead in tackles and interceptions anymore. Before anyone wants to say that.
Do you know what the reality of it is?
Who does?
Remeyu and some Brownhill, something like that.
What, Burnley?
Brownhill.
Nothing. The reality of it is, I feel like players that are sort of nice characters get a blur. Like if it was like your Pogba, someone that's a bit more opinionated and out here, your performances when you put like 0 out of 10s or you do bad performances, everyone homes into you.
You think because he's nice and humble Kante, people won't highlight it?
I just feel like people don't want to highlight it because it's kind of like what the standard he set was up there, and it's kind of like he just operates and everything. But if you get like sort of your note like KDB, because people don't like KDB, the second KDB starts crossing, oh, he's a crossing merchant, oh, he's this, he's that. With Kante, you wouldn't really hear this the conversation being, oh, he's just a tackling stats merchant. They
I
want
think the issue Chelsea have as well though with Kante is like you take him out the side, who comes in? Jorginho.
Listen,
He's just another
but do you
issue
know?
and a
But
problem.
do you know what? Do you know what
he
that
will
states
become
to you?
another scapegoat.
No,
I've
but do
never
you know what that
seen.
is? Sorry,
I've
Go on.
never seen a player that's based on defensive contribution that you have to build a team around that. Kante, his best when he was playing for Leicester, as I've mentioned before, was in a 2-man midfield with Drinkwater. When he went to Chelsea and Chelsea played the 3-4-3 under Conte, it was Matic that was deeper. Kante's allowed to run left, right, here. Kante's everywhere.
What about for France though?
His heat map was all
France was
international football is different. If we're gonna say this, then Pogba's a good player for France. We need to stop this. International football is different. It's slower. It's completely different situation. Yeah. When you look at Miroslav Klose is the best international player you'll find. What was he saying for his club? He wasn't even all that. Yeah. He was a decent player. International football is different. Kante now is playing in a 3, defensive midfield, best 6 in the world apparently. He's not a number 6. Then you put him number 8. He's jumping in the air for headers. He's not a number 8. The best thing for Kante is to play in a 2-man midfield with somebody else, and he can be that one buzzing around. But now I even doubt if he's even got the legs to be doing that anymore.
Do you know what's weird though? When Chelsea tried at the beginning of the season, I don't know for what reason or whatnot, it didn't look right. And then I guess again, tying to what I said earlier, you get a situation where you move it to a 3, you put him there, and then there's like good form. People look at the good form and it's like, oh, okay, it's all gravy. But if you're not actually looking at what's going on in depth, you can kind of scoot over what's going
on. Stats of people say they don't like stats, or people pick and choose when they like stats. That's what I'm saying. People are surprised that Chelsea want Declan Rice. Chelsea want Declan Rice in these players. They need to be getting them players in because
thing is,
they are number 6.
The reality of the situation is, you said it a while ago, and I hated you for saying it. But with the injuries, the thing is, he said it and I hated it. With the injuries kicking in and everything, I don't think it's time to get rid of now. But you have to, even City, we're looking at Fernandinho thinking, we've got to start planning. Fernandinho's not going to be at this forever. So if they can do that with Fabinho, like who's been an integral part of the squad, why can't Chelsea start thinking?
Fernandinho. Just before we move on another one as well, who's invisible today?
Kovacic.
Bro,
Kovacic.
50 million last year, best player of the season or whatever. Like this season, is he not meant to kick on? And then also when you've got Kai Havertz underperforming as well, I feel like in these types of games he should be stepping up.
Do you know
and I feel like a lot of the time the Kantes will get the blame, the strikers or the defense or the keeper or whatever. But Kovacic has these invisible games frequently and just goes ghost.
No, this season,
people wonder why he's not that kind of elite level midfielder because of shit like this.
I think Kovacic and Jorginho are used very, what's the word, like Lampard. It's like Lampard. You know, he brings him in. He's gonna sub them. He's gonna but it's the Mount and Kante that are gonna be in every midfield, constantly. And in whoever wants to play next to them. So I wouldn't look more at Kovacic than Kante or Mount personally.
Do you know
they play every single week.
One thing that I've seen and I've been like, okay, you know what? And this is again Chelsea fans. I understand. A lot of people are getting at like Mount today, and it's like, you know, when people
easy target
and scapegoating.
Right next to him, invisible.
Mount has been one of our consistent. People don't like it, but he's been one of our consistent steady eddies this season. Like he's showed an account for himself. Like even when he maybe has not played to the best, he's still performed at a level. He's not had disaster classes. Yeah. He's been ever present, and he's played every single minute apart from 2 games. I think, so like, if he's tired and he's playing against a City side that bear in mind, each time that Chelsea plays City and we've got a Kante or Jorginho or something like that, what does City try and do to us? They always try and smoke out our midfield because they know if we lose possession there, we're fried. So
that people turn and finish from Gundogan though.
Crazy. But boy,
that groin. 36 years old, you know, a woman.
Nah, you see what it is with Mason Mount? I think people do scapegoat him, but I think it comes from, I don't think they think that his ability level is that high, that they don't see a big ceiling with him.
That's of course, but if a player
that's
still...
probably what it is.
But
I also think because of this whole, like, he's Lampard's son and he's English, there's an agenda against him.
My issue is, if someone's coming, even if you don't think they're good and they're showing an account for themselves, then you need to address the players that have more ability, supposedly, that are not showing account for themselves. That's my whole thing about it. Like, you can't
like Cho, boy. Man like Cho.
Mount is because it got built up that he's the next Lampard. So people look at
that's Bruno, mate. We got him over here. We got the next Lampard. Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear that as well. Yeah,
it's perception. It's perception. Yeah, it's perception. But
I mean, that's
He should
crazy
just
to
be
think that.
grateful he
That's
wasn't given the number 8 as well,
That's
bro.
mad
Bro.
pressure to give him.
Imagine he was given the number 8.
do you know
on
what's
top of
so
that. They would've
ironic
ruined
as
it.
well? Yeah. We're saying all of this in terms of like who do you bring in and whatnot. That's what happens when you
Free
don't know
Cho.
your boy. Listen,
Free
couple
Cho.
games in a row now.
Free Cho,
I
man.
reckon, just randomly, if you're in his position, what do you do now? Do you try and still push for that move, or do you
If I'm-
think you're gonna
well, I
outlast the
mean,
manager?
But he'll probably outlast the manager, but at the same time, you see, Lampard is playing guys that are just a bit out of form. They like Cho. I'm not saying he's in hot form,
But he's
but
showing
he's come off the
something.
bench and looks all right a couple of times. Giroud is in form. Why are you not playing the in-form players? As much as we disrespect Arteta, look, Arteta found, Smith Rowe's doing his little thing right now. I'm just going to play him. Saka, I'm
But
going to
even
keep
he
him on
was
the
kind
right
of
wing.
Forced into those.
Of
Sometimes
course,
you
but
stumble
sometimes
upon
you
that.
stumble across
Yeah.
it and you got to stay with it though.
Yeah,
He
that's
should be
true.
stumbling across. Giroud, wow, he's doing his thing, whatever.
That's
Look
the irony.
what- look
He
what
has
Oli
stumbled
does.
upon it.
Oli-
He has,
Yeah,
and he's,
yeah,
and he's
that's
taken him
the
out the
thing.
squad.
That's
the
the
thing
thing.
is,
He has
yeah,
stumbled
He
yeah,
upon
stumbled
it.
but the
upon
thing
it
is,
and
as much as
denied
exactly,
himself.
exactly,
Yeah.
as much as we go crazy about Oli and stuff, Oli will be like, listen, if Fred and McTominay are on
Tom,
form, sorry
yeah.
Pogba,
Yeah.
you're on the bench.
yeah.
Like until
But
Sure,
until it
That's
goes
what
past.
I said about
But
making
my
big
man-
decisions
boy.
as a manager. Like if you like make them decisions and everything. Like I'll say this before we go off it. Today, his big decisions were, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give Vern his start. I'm gonna bring ZH back in. If that works off, people are gonna praise him that, oh, okay, you know, you put your best 11 and it worked. But the reality is, on the flip side of it, people are gonna say your informed players were on the pitch and you didn't bring them on. That's the territory you're in, especially when you're in
Game
bad form.
management.
What bringing on
Tactical
Billy
preparation.
Gilmore?
Because
Bro, I don't know what level.
Scottish.
Yeah,
Scottish Iniesta,
it's
bro.
true. But where did Jorginho come on? I can't even remember. He didn't even come on. Who came on? Havertz. Yeah,
Havertz,
sorry,
Cho,
it should have.
Jorginho.
Yeah, okay.
It should have been
Giroud.
Cho
100%
and
needed
Giroud.
to be on that pitch.
But that's the
all I'm
second
saying.
time he's done it this season where he hasn't brought Giroud on. I think the other game he brought on Havertz and it was like, what? We're just gonna say that we've lost the game, but yeah. And it's like, so we're just gonna say that we're not gonna win this game. Then cool, never mind.
Boy.
And take it back to last season. You know, before we played you, it was. I think that's when he started trying to bring Giroud in, and Giroud was like winning us stuff and everything. And it was around this. It was around this period of time because it was like, oh, is Giroud gonna leave in the window and
Yeah.
everything?
It always
It's like,
happens
boy,
around January
listen,
where
like,
he
Still
comes
lost that
back
game,
in.
yeah, still lost,
Yeah,
but like that's when
that
Giroud.
4-0?
No, that
No,
wasn't
this
the 4-0.
was the one in the middle of the season. But yeah, I feel like he's in a position
clean
now
sheets.
where
Couple clean sheets here and there.
FA Cup's coming up. I think you get a nice week. The board are probably thinking if we bring in a new manager now, he has a week with the squad. He has an easy game
I
to fit
think
himself
Chelsea
in. He moves
definitely
on.
planning on it.
Yeah,
on it.
100 I've seen the rumors already.
Goose heading right there.
He's our go-to
End of
man
the
for our interim sort of.
Bro, he's a
our go-to.
lifesaver.
It's either him or Benitez. Usually, we're like, listen, just tie us over. win us a cup.
Benitez did nice with the Europa, but he
Yeah,
fucked
yeah,
it.
yeah.
This squad hated him too much.
Yeah,
That
but
was
this
John
squad,
Terry,
this
man.
squad
That was
ain't
John
like
Terry.
this ain't
He
squad.
hated him.
It's
He
not the
hated
same
him.
sort of squad though. You get me? So.
This
But
one
we'll see.
lacks
I just feel like in terms of what's out there, I don't think you can, especially in the middle of what's going on now, you can't just throw in a sort of. I don't think you can throw in a long-term manager now, just because there's so much going on. You probably need to tell your long-term manager, or just analyze what's going on, have a think, and then come in with a plan.
Goose hitting, holler at Allegri. It's
Listen,
simple.
yeah, I hear
Boy,
you.
but big up City though. They played
Yeah, no,
well.
that was a good performance. In terms of, let's address something though,
Foden, you gotta
because
play
man, them were
Foden
trying to
top
rub
four,
out
bro.
City. Man, them were trying to rub out City in terms of, oh, they're gonna finish top 4 and everything. They are slowly and steadily just doing their thing.
They got a game in hand.
City are not going for the title. They're top 4 contenders.
Yeah.
Cam said something
No.
as well.
Look at the way he's pointing like Randall.
These two said something.
Because
Because man, them trying to rub City out. Is that okay? No, address.
Hey,
What do
Like
you think now?
6'9", fam.
Bro, they're
Address it.
one
I
game
can't
behind
remember what I said.
29 points.
Right,
they got.
yeah.
29 points they got with the game in hand.
Best
still as
defensive
well.
record in the league.
Who City?
Yeah,
Yeah.
best defensive record
Bro,
in the
they've
league.
improved. But attacking wise, they're still missing.
No, I hear you,
They're
but
still missing a
do
lot,
you
I think.
think that in terms
I
of this
definitely
building
think
conference, there's
that
something there? 'Cause
right
like I
now,
said,
I look
every
at the
single team's
table.
had a blip. Like apart from Villa, Southampton, every team that's sort of like a notable team that you look at has had a blip. Every single one,
Yeah.
and they seem to have come back from this.
And that's
So-
the thing. You look at it from first to what? 6. There's a 4-point gap.
It's crazy.
So 2 wins. You're involved in the
And
title race.
what I would like to add as well is if you look at Liverpool, right? Liverpool are doing their thing and everything, but Liverpool's away form, I think it's draws against Newcastle,
The small
West
teams.
Brom, Like they're not getting the points.
They've drawn a lot this year.
So what happens now if they suddenly? I know they haven't lost in the home at ages, but if the Undertaker thing breaks on that, the team starts sniffing blood.
The thing with Liverpool is
they're unbeaten run at home. If that goes,
I feel like with Liverpool, they've just got Thiago back. Van Dijk is still to go. I feel
listen,
like
we've seen players
get better and
of course, but we've seen players get injured all the part of the season.
Most games this season.
I think it might be United.
Leicester 10.
And who? Just Leicester, right?
Yeah, it just says Leicester 10.
Is it?
Oh, you're scum. You're scum. But
oh god, that is hilarious.
Speak to that though.
Oh,
I mean,
man, that is funny.
What are you man saying?
Good win. That was a good win the other day.
He was about to say, who did you play?
Yeah, I can't even remember.
You threw that kind of mad though.
Yeah,
you said, yeah, go on.
No, good win the other day, man. Nice win. Business as normal. Do you know what I mean?
I'll ask you this. I know you're gonna
come on up against him, man.
I know you're probably gonna put your
tearjerk.
Your hashtag.
It was a real tearjerk.
I know you're gonna put your hashtag whatever. But in terms of this season now, level on points. Still have to play them. Liverpool.
17th.
Still have to play Liverpool. In terms of 2020, you just behind them in terms of form. Your form was better than City's in terms of kind of the year and everything. Are you in this conversation?
It's not even a question. You know what's coming.
We'll discuss it ourselves.
You know what's coming.
It's fine.
That's not even a discussion to be had. United are in it. Their quality. They've got the quality in their squad.
It's top 4.
Their manager looks like the last year or so he's done a decent job when we look at the facts of the matter. So
top 4 is
really,
all that
truly,
matters.
of course, top 4's a target.
That's our
but
target.
if you're close in and around to come the end of the season, I don't think that's a bad thing.
I think as long as we get top 4.
I don't think it was ever a doubt.
Because we're gonna have an honest conversation. I feel like their Europa League sort of predicament could cause them issues because that Thursday, Sunday. Because remember, right now till February, we're cool. After that.
It's
top 4 is all that matters.
Thursday, Sunday.
Europe is going to play a big factor.
I feel like that can affect. However, on the other hand, that's when your Van der Beek, who's not playing a lot of time, starts to come into the conversation now. You can rotate and everything. And look, the Frenchie seems like he's finding a bit of form now. He's doubled his league tally.
One goal is not finding form.
Oh.
No.
This is what United fans are telling me. United fans tell me that, he's starting to find his way. They also told me that Cavani's 3-game ban is resting period for him, so he's going to come back on form. So
they want to add pressure to us, but at the end of the day, top 4 is all that's important.
I think there's a lot of things that are happening at United during this run that I don't think I can guarantee till the end of the season, and that's including what Pogba being on form. I think similar to what he's been the last 4 or 5 games. I can't guarantee that till the end of the season. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the little forward runs he's been making last couple of games, definitely can't see that carrying on till the end of the season. I think Ollie.
So then when it comes to those,
when it comes to those tight games, no, I'm saying this is what's going to stop you from winning the title. So I think you'll be in the mix.
Fair enough.
100%, you'll be in the mix.
Do you know what?
For me, I think
just top 4 is what that's
maybe you don't believe it, but from what the reaction I've seen
online,
from United fans,
the streets,
the last 24 hours has been basically
21.
They said it's 2021. You know what's happening. 21 is here.
Also, man, them doing New Year's prayers at church saying that, we're going to bring in a New Year with 21.
A lot of them that do believe it, these are the things
they're being vocal. I'm seeing Patrice Evra doing breakdancing with braids and that. I think
another thing though, but Eric Bailly come back. Looked amazing, incredible. Last minute block. Oof. Can he stay fit till the end of the season? I can't guarantee that.
I don't speak on this stuff.
But this is what I'm saying. But I'm talking to the wider United fan. I'm talking to the wider United fan.
Do you know what? You, bro.
Is there not more United fans?
They're the ones that have taken Man United's great manager Jose Mourinho of us. They're the ones that spent 200 and something million. We can't compete with that. How are we going to compete with Oli against Jose? How's Oli going to compete against Klopp and Pep and Jose?
What are you talking about right now?
250 million of Chelsea. Listen, top 4's that'll be a great season, mate. 4th great season,
second best form.
Yeah,
keeping pace with Liverpool, who are arguably one of the greatest Premier League.
They want to put the pressure on us, but it doesn't work over here, mate.
What I would say though,
there's no pressure on you. There's plenty of teams. I'm saying
on the one thing that United do have in terms of this, though,
we're just serial overachievers.
He wants to avoid pressure by any means necessary.
One thing that's interesting here is I
never thought I'd see you like
serial overachievers.
I feel like if City win that game in hand, the eyes go more to them in terms of
but that I would say that's only because of we've seen City there the last season or two. I don't think City are the same, and maybe you could say the same for Liverpool as well.
Yeah,
but yeah, City are in the mix, United are in the mix, Liverpool are in the mix, Spurs are in the mix. I think if Chelsea can even get it together the next couple of games, they're still in the mix. Like,
But that means Arsenal are in the mix.
Listen, if they can keep up their consistency, they play
Leicester.
Leicester.
Leicester,
Listen,
do you know what?
don't rule out Leicester.
The
as
one
well.
thing
They've
about
done it
Leicester,
before.
yeah, see last season, at the moment, they still haven't got Pereira back. They still haven't got a few players back.
James
The only
Johnson's
thing I
doing
say
his
about
thing.
Leicester is
Last season burnt
they-
out. Last season,
everybody,
yeah.
no, the only
Last
thing I
season
say
they
about
burnt
Leicester
out.
though is everybody talks about United being penalty merchants.
Yeah, no, they've got a lot of
Leicester are
penalties.
penalty
They've got the
merchants.
most. They've got the
Leicester
most.
have
They've got
got
the
the
most.
You
by
can't talk
far
about
as
penalty
well.
merchants. We've only had one more penalty than Chelsea this season.
But that's what I'm saying. Leicester have had what?
So if
14 or
United are
15?
penalty merchants, what Chelsea
Is
then?
it 10? I'm
Something
sure
like
it's more than that.
Something
Yeah,
like
they've
that.
had 10.
This year.
They've
Is
had
it
10.
10?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Unless they had one today. Did they have one today? No.
No.
No,
But
yeah, 10.
What they
had 6.
typically have, and the thing is, I'm not going to call it the Rodgers burnout. I feel like that kind of a lot of people have put this sort of label on him because
No, we leave that for
coincidentally
Bielsa.
it's
We
happened.
leave that for Bielsa.
But I feel like Leicester, because of their squad, they do tend to burn out. Like if the
They're
key
in
men
Europa
get injured,
as well.
yeah, exactly. So again, Thursday, Sunday could affect them. But we'll see. Also, what
Leicester
we'll
won't
see
win
is
it.
we'll see who will start trying to divert their attention. Who starts thinking, okay, you know what? We're comfy here. Let's try and win this. United, by the sounds of it, top 4 is all right. Do we try and go and win Europa League? Do Spurs try and do the same thing? That's when I reckon in a few, like maybe by end of February, we'll start the picture starts
Arsenal are
painting
coming,
itself.
mate. Arsenal are coming. That's
Where?
who teams
top
need to
half?
worry about. Arsenal are coming, huh?
Top half.
Don't know who's Arsenal's next few games. Arsenal are probably going to go on a decent little run.
Let's
As we
have a
just
look.
mentioned, they stumbled into a good lineup with ESR. They've got Saka. Yeah, they
Palace,
got
Newcastle,
they got-
He's got nicknames for
Southampton.
They got-
every up and coming youth, I swear.
they got Laka, who's on form. He's actually carrying Aubameyang at the moment.
Well,
so they've got a good setup right now.
I've just said
Palace
it.
to
I've
come
said
back.
it.
a decent. They've got them coming next. Newcastle,
Who's that?
Southampton, United,
Arsenal.
Wolves.
Newcastle, Southampton. I mean, they should really
played
go.
Southampton already.
Yeah,
No, but
they've
things
got them
we
again.
start with it, yeah. Second round.
Second
innit?
half of the season, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so no, Arsenal, bro, look, things as we've just mentioned, things can turn
It's
quickly.
consistency.
Listen,
It's all
I'll say
about
this though. Yeah,
consistency.
we're
Can
saying this,
Arsenal
yeah.
because
Hear this. City have Brighton,
I mean,
Palace,
West Brom
Villa,
and Brighton.
West Brom, Sheffield, Burnley.
That's their next games.
Those are their next 6.
They should do.
Who's that,
good.
Man
They should,
City?
they should
City,
be way back in the mix
I
then.
expect them to win every game.
That's their next 6 games. Bear in mind that they're defensively better now. They might not be attacking how they are, but if you're playing these sort of teams,
What's Liverpool's?
You can't predict anything. You
literally
can't
this
predict
year you
anything.
can't, but we just have to address what's in front of us.
Liverpool's still the favourites.
Liverpool have got United, Burnley, Spurs, West Ham, Brighton, City, Leicester.
You see. The thing is, look. As we were saying, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. When you look at, as just mentioned about Arsenal, we were just saying it was doom and gloom 2 weeks ago. Now all of a sudden it's
three.
All it takes is 3 games. All it takes is 3
It's
games.
looking up for them. So
But-
anything can happen. You can stumble into a formation. You can stumble into some players. They got this Pablo Mari who's now balling out of his skin. Now they're
And
talking
Gabriel is
about
not
is Gabriel going to come straight back in? You don't really
Boy.
know. You've got
Holding.
we say
Holding.
Saka
You got-
is the
if you
preferred
get
right
dashed
winger.
out-
Come on,
No,
man.
they're 2 left footers. They're 2 left footers. That's a bit unorthodox.
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, so then you've got
I've seen that. I don't think 2 left-footed
you
centre.
never
Not
get
really.
2 left-footed centre backs ever.
That's weird.
But
It's
speaking
unbalanced.
about
Aki and the ball.
Hey, true.
speaking
Do they
about
even
Where's
play together?
Laporte now?
They don't
Where's
play.
Aki?
Do they play matches together?
Bro, they're
see
both
they
sitting on the
play.
bench
speaking on managers,
Aki's
what's
in
been very interesting is it's been a lot of discussion about different managers. We've had Big Sam come in, and yeah, it's looking a bit.
Hey,
We've
what I
had
say?
we've had season's not over yet. We've had
Hey, it's
we've
over,
had your
baby.
best friend Bielsa.
Hmm.
A lot of things have been said about
Whose
Leeds,
boy?
but Fuad's boy.
Oh,
Yeah, my boy. Bro.
But where do we stand on the whole Bielsa talk? Obviously, he won top 3 in a thing.
That was outlandish. In all honesty, putting him
what?
in the top 3 managers
In the world?
in the best or whatever. Like,
I
for
didn't get
getting
what
the
that
team
was about.
promoted, it wasn't even by record points. It wasn't by record goals. It was just purely based off style of play. And I think that is the last week or so I've been hearing more people get annoyed with it. The fact that when they're losing, they lost 3-0 to us, and the commentators were still praising Ayling for dribbling past strikers. He's just conceded 3 goals. Why are you telling me about a right back playing centre back dribbling past strikers?
To
The
be fair,
game's in
Leeds,
disarray.
Leeds
Focus
were
on your
playing like
primary
2
job.
fullback centre back. They had They had a weakened
But this
side.
is all like,
game-
I
the
can
game's in
imagine
disarray.
Bielsa in the dressing room saying, if you take up the half spaces on the turn, shut up,
What
bro.
keywords?
Stop all
Yeah,
this.
but the thing
He
is-
has no plan B. That's my issue with Bielsa, is I feel like he is
But
one
his
of these
disciples
guys
are
who
the
just
same.
drives this one. But that's the thing. Is that right, though? That's
but
my
look,
issue.
It's right if you can pull it off.
I think
when you're busting cheeks, what, to United 6-2, 3-0 to
They
Spurs.
conceded second
Like,
most in the league this
Bro,
season.
it's embarrassing.
Do you know what the issue is with,
No, but I just
Leeds?
think,
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
I don't have an issue with having a style of play or kind of like a go-to sort of plan.
Palace 4-1.
What I have an issue with is the kind of like the overpraise of it, because what's happening is Leeds, like you said, they've conceded the second most, but that won't get talked about. All that will get talked about is, oh, it's exciting, or it's a joy to watch them for the neutral and everything.
They've got zero
But
goal difference.
I would love to hear what a Leeds fan actually thinks about what they're seeing in terms of, do they feel confident that they're going to stay in the Premier
probably
League?
do.
Do they?
No, but the
No,
thing is, I
do,
don't
bro,
see
'cause
why. I think look. I think
I still think they're going to
in
finish
this
10th.
country. I just think in this country, yeah, like okay, we can say that he's overdoing it a little bit or whatever, but I just think in this country, what we will see is look at it and be like, oh, why? Okay, because first and foremost, the commentators over gassing them is a bit annoying. I do agree with that. Like they're a bit excited,
Unnecessary,
but the
bro.
fans like pushback, like other fans. I don't really know what Leeds fans are saying, to be honest, but the pushback from other fans is like he's naive and Bielsa this and Bielsa that. But it's like they're sitting 11th, well 12th now, 12 points ahead of relegation, playing this way. They've conceded 33, but they've also scored 30. Which is more than Everton, City, Spurs, all of these teams. So this is the way they play. Why don't we be talking about, why can't Sheffield United open up? This whole hard man stuff that you're doing has you as the worst team of all time at the moment. What about West Brom, who are doing absolute F all at the moment, bringing Big Sam? Why don't you open up and start playing better football? You might win
here's
some
the thing.
games. What about Fulham?
Let me
What about
ask you this
Brighton?
question, though.
What about all this
Fulham,
stuff? But then
Fulham
with
and Brighton
Leeds-
actually try it.
Yeah, but
Let
with
me-
Leeds, but the thing is, with Leeds, it's like, oh, Bielsa, like, he needs to now shut up shop and be a bit.
No,
This is his
no.
way.
Let me
appreciate.
let me
the
ask
way
you
it
this
is.
question.
And he's sitting
I
quite
actually
in the
think they're
league.
doing
So,
okay.
Let me ask you a
That's
quick
the
question.
thing. This country just don't understand that.
what-
I think if it was in Spain and stuff, they would appreciate it. In this country, we don't understand
I
it.
wanna
mate.
ask you
That's
is-
all I think it is. Huh?
Do
No,
you
I'm
think
talking, no, I'm
too
I'm talking about. I'm
appreciated.
talking about
the general
from
consensus?
like the pushback to what the commentators say.
What-
I
what
agree.
I would
The commentators are just. Leeds are the fun team of the
they
Premier
just
League.
No,
I don't see how you can
them.
look at Leeds.
They've
Look,
fallen over them for
But
no
when I watch
reason.
Leeds, listen, there's not many teams that are enjoyable to watch.
I mean,
at
I
the
know
moment.
they can.
When I go and watch
some
Leeds,
of the football they played is brilliant. Shut
yeah,
up.
because do you know why they're saying that, bro? Because it's a breath of fresh air a little bit.
It's
bro.
not, bro,
When you
like-
go and watch Leeds, you know
know
you
what?
might get 7-goal thriller. You might see Leeds score 5. You might see them score 5. It's fun to watch.
I'll be
You
real
would
with you.
rather
Is it
go and watch
sustainable?
these
Wait,
boring
is
ass
it
teams.
sus-
I
is it
hear
sus-
that.
is it-
That's-
Watch man
is that
like
sustainable?
Wolves play their
Nah,
boring
but
ass
too
football.
often,
Is it
yeah.
sustainable?
Well,
That's
dead,
all I'm
man.
asking.
I
Do you
feel
reckon?
dead.
Do you reckon that they can sustain it?
Well, they will.
Bro, the
because
thing
they're
is,
staying
yeah,
up.
it's-
They're gonna
No,
stay
no,
up.
of course. But in terms of like, because even in seasons previous,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen towards the end of the season, that maybe.
But what
because
do
all the
people
months-
expect from Leeds? Do we expect?
I
Leeds
said,
to
I
win
said,
the
I
league
think
as
they're
well?
finishing.
here's the
I think they're
thing.
finishing
Leeds are-
10th.
I actually agree with what you're
just here
saying.
for
Is
fun.
they're doing good for
Vibes.
what their style of play is
Still
doing or
vibes.
whatever. For their target to stay in the Premier League, they're doing well.
Yeah,
But for
exactly.
me, I feel like sometimes they get too lost in this footballs for entertainment for the neutrals, and as
But
long
why
as
is
the
that
neutrals
seen as a
are enjoying-
negative?
it's not, bro. But
Like,
what
I
you
don't
need to
get it.
remember is the game it's a competition. It's meant to be. Your results are what matter.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like in them kind of games against United, against Spurs, if they were just a little bit smarter, they actually could have beaten us. I felt like they were actually in the
Let's
first
not-
half could have carved us open
Bro,
maybe
that's what
3
I
or
was saying.
4
Come on,
times.
in the first half, they were all over you guys.
I get
bro.
that, but I feel like because they were so defensively naive, that's why we could carve them up and kill them. I feel like if they were smart, they could even be a much better team than what they are right now.
But then the
what
thing
I'm
is, it
saying.
might end up becoming
But
a thing.
pure and
Is in,
simply because everyone's getting lost in the entertainment factor, and I'm like, entertainment is meant to be the least. Entertaining people for me is the least of what you should worry.
Alright, so
Results is what
Let me
I
chime.
don't
Let me
think
chime
Leeds
quickly.
go
Do you
they're
know
into
what?
doing okay at the minute, but I think they could
Do you
be
know
doing
what I
even
feel
better.
like the issue is?
The
And
re-
it's
I
not
get- no, I
that
agree with
Leeds a
that.
specific thing. I think it's more like in terms of if you look at Bielsa and his history, Leeds this season, will do whatever.
Bielsa, you know.
Well, well played, well played. Well
Bye,
played.
bye, bye.
Well played.
Bielsa.
Well played. Well played. Well played.
Bare
You're-
syllables.
You're on form. You're on form. Maybe it's less so Leeds. It's more about the sort of the bigging up like Bielsa. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
Bielsa, bro. But I hear what you're saying. I think that's more the issue. It's the praise of when even they're getting battered. What do you do, bruv? Like, why are they still why are they still getting praise to the higher heavens for their style of play even when they're losing? And like you said, they're actually doing well. They're doing what they're here to do. Like, they're not, and their playing styles actually got them there. But the thing is, I feel like they could just be better.
Do you know the questions coming
when he gets put in the top 3 of the world's best?
That's too far.
Yeah,
Too far.
But again,
I don't even get that. I don't get it. I didn't even know. Like, you know, when they nominate stuff, like, what would their explanation be for that? I don't even know what it say on the card.
And then, like,
got Leeds
again
promoted.
because of
Leeds promoted.
Got Leeds promoted doing high press football.
I don't get it.
like with Leeds, I guess that
Maybe he's
the
doing something
expectation
behind
for
the
them will
scenes.
never probably be to be like, you know,
I don't know.
top 4
Yeah.
or something. But naturally, you would expect some development and them to go forward. Or like you mentioned before, do you reckon that he could do this at a higher team?
I don't
Probably
think
couldn't
he
do it at a higher team. And in terms of Leeds seeding, how far can you take them just sticking to that?
Yeah.
So I guess that's where the issue is with him in particular. I mean, this is something he's done his whole career as well. Like,
I think what you said
everywhere
on
he's
camera,
gone,
though, yeah.
he's tried like to keep this keeps, but it's like, okay, but where are you actually taking this team to? It looks great for the neutral, but realistically where it is, and
That's why he's never
raised
managed the top club though.
But you
Literally,
raised
said
a
that,
really
yeah.
good point about how it will be viewed in Spain. But I think that kind of happens everywhere. Like Getafe are one of these teams where people are saying that they play like English football, get stuck in your face, 5 at the back, playing like wingers, wing back, still. And the Spanish
6'2"
apparently
wingers.
apparently they hated. They had that Neo man that at fullback at one point, but they hated that. But it worked to them.
I think he cares more about the fundamentals of football and how to improve this and crack code. I don't think he cares that much about
said just
winning
vibes.
trophies. I don't think he cares.
That's
like,
my issue.
But yeah, no,
That's
I
my issue.
understand,
Okay, but the question is,
wait,
what can he win with
wait.
Leeds?
But he's at Leeds. He was at, was it Bilbao? Was it Bilbao? He was at Bilbao.
Bro,
he's
this
not
is-
at these
this
teams
is
where
why he's never
was he the
been a
manager
top
when
manager.
when we got absolutely schooled by Muniain and
Herrera
Herrera
all them man.
Bro,
2012.
the football was unbelievable,
Yeah.
bro. Now this guy's a magician.
No,
with his
I
football.
get
I'm
it,
sorry,
the football, but
bro,
this is why
he has
he will never
Bamford, Ailing, and these men looking like top ballers, bro.
Do you know what's so
Like,
funny?
it shouldn't
though,
be
yeah?
this way.
I get it.
Rafinha, but he's actually a good
No,
player. though.
Rafinha's
he's
a
actually good.
baller.
But he's got
He's
some
a
of these guys playing
Brazilian
out. Bro,
baller.
Jack Harrison looks like he's gonna be
First
what?
draft
Was he
pick.
New Robin or something?
First
draft
pick,
pick.
innit? That's all.
First
yeah,
draft
yeah.
pick.
I'll
No, but
never-
like, in all honesty though, like I think he cares about them stuff. He's not been at a Man United. He's not been at a Barcelona, Real Madrid.
his ambition
So-
isn't to be there. I don't
Exactly.
think.
All he's there is to lay down foundations. That
So then what? Have Leeds
Poch,
peaked now then?
Poch picked it up. Has credited him. What's
Pep.
my man's name? Pep
Yeah.
has credit. He's
He's-
just
yeah,
here
he's
to. He's a
disciples.
But
foundation.
here's
you know
the
what?
thing.
That's all he
So then
is.
have Leeds peaked now then? Is this like the best Leeds fans can hope for?
I think the
Like,
best they can
just-
hope
just
for is
being
maybe a
outside the
Europa
best of the
push.
rest.
At the best, a Europa push.
Do you know what? I'm glad that you
But what are
mentioned
they? They're
that
a championship team. They've got championship
No,
quality
but
players.
this is why
Leeds.
for me this is
That's
like,
what you should be
this is
looking at
this
now,
is
but
the
you should be
really
looking at them
pivotal
more.
First
question.
Rose
If you
Derby
look
in
at-
what 16 years?
I think we
Get
spoke
licks like
about
that.
it maybe.
He doesn't know about
We
that,
spoke
man.
about it like last season.
Why?
He doesn't know.
Why?
about that.
That's
But
what I'm
he's not
saying.
got a heritage.
if you
of
look
that.
at a lot of Premier League teams that have fallen by the wayside that came in, and you know what, maybe you've raised a good argument that I played maybe stealth football and they were in the Premier League for years and they played stealth football and the fans were like, oh, but we know we're just expected the same thing.
Stoke.
Those teams, yeah, but what happened is when them teams tried to spice it up a little bit, they got
Relegation,
relegated.
mate.
So the thing is, at least he can perform like this and probably stay at here.
with
But the thing is, it means that you won't
championship
go,
level
you
We're
won't
players.
go
saying
any
then he
further.
could do like a Swansea.
No, it means that you won't go any
Maybe.
further. Maybe you won't go any further, but maybe because of how he is and he's so skilled at it, you won't drop down.
No, but look,
But
what's going
for the
on
next
now?
5 years,
Number
I
what's
guess
going
it
on now
should-
is that teams like Wolves coming in. First of all, Wolves are George Mendes FC anyway, so
Jorge.
they're Portugal. So
Jorge.
you've got
They got the
Wolves.
third kid.
Jorge.
You seen
Exactly.
it?
Is his name Jorge? Are you sure?
Jorge.
Or are you just saying it? Just so like, yeah. Anyway,
You man are trying to
Yeah.
do the same
Anyway,
tactic
anyway,
now.
listen,
I love it.
But when you,
Hey, we need a
like,
counter at the
we're
bottom.
thinking about Wolves,
Michael
right?
and
We're
George,
thinking
you know.
teams like Wolves and stuff are gonna mess up our thoughts of what championship teams are meant to be. Leeds' ambition for the next 3 years should just be establishing themselves as a Premier League team.
That's fair.
We're on it. We're instantly now thinking
yeah,
that
I'm not gonna
next
lie to
season
you, yeah.
Leeds should be pushing for Europa. Why?
In my
They're a
head, I'm
championship
like,
team.
they've taken the Wolves method in.
Nah, they're just a
they've
championship
they've
team,
bought
mate.
some talent. They've got players in. They've spent money. I'm just like, you know what? Let me see if they're really about. And
If we're
because
gonna
they're
have
playing that style of play as well, I'm like, all right, let's see
yeah,
how
I
far
hear
you
that,
lot
but
can go.
I think that's the thing. We're making it like championship teams now should
But
come
that's
up
fair,
and do
that's
that.
fair.
Do you know what's
They just
funny
think about
though?
Premier League
Do you know what's
survival.
funny
and
though?
he's doing
Because
it.
that's one team that's kind of like playing. Is expansive football probably the best term to use for it?
Yeah,
Another one that is you would probably feel completely different about is Brighton and Potter, because
Yeah.
they're trying to play this sort of like forward-thinking football. But I don't think everyone would give the energy that they're giving to Leeds there.
Bro,
Maybe what is
I
it
was
because you
saying
can't
last
pull it
week,
off?
Results are different. Results are what matter. This is why I keep telling you style don't matter. If the results are good, you look like Leeds, Bielsa, you get called the third best manager in the world for being 11th. And then otherwise, if results go bad, you look like Graham Potter. Was it a couple points, 3
it's
points
funny
above the
because
drop?
against Wolves, they
They-
were
they-
doing set pieces.
The set
were
pieces,
just
old school. They
burn.
said, you know what? Let's
'Cause they
dunk-
realised- they
dunk
realised-
this one in. You see it? Old school relegation
Literally,
football. So
literally.
really and truly, it all
Weird.
depends
It
on
was a
kind of
crazy one.
how
Adamar
results
only
go.
got in past Dan Burn about a few times.
Bro,
Yeah, that-
6'6"
my
Dan
God.
Burn.
He did
Adamar,
another
mate. That
Bro,
guy's
he
in the mud,
was
mate.
getting
Who?
ripped
Adamar.
in that game. Dan Burn.
What do you call him?
What did you hear?
He's just trying to pick on anything.
Wait, what did
now.
you
What
say?
is it?
What did you say?
Adamar.
What did he say?
Adama.
What's his name?
Adama, bro.
Oh my goodness, you guys are like,
Come
you
on,
guys are doing the
this is
most
tomatoes,
now.
tomatoes.
Yeah,
nah,
now
nah,
you guys
nah.
are doing the
Come
most.
on, come on.
Oh, come on, bro. You
I'm just letting it go.
You
You
know
know
what,
trying to
bro?
do the
I'll let
most
you
now.
slide
Look
on
at
that
it.
one, Cam. I'll let you
Yeah,
slide.
yeah,
Nah,
I
nah.
mean, what the hell?
That's calm.
You're doing
That's
the
calm.
most, bro. Come on, fam. Anyway,
Like, yeah,
Varane
I
was
mean-
crazy. Varane was crazy.
who?
Varane.
Did you guys see? Let me move.
Hey,
But where would you?
God.
Because a lot of people are saying top 3 in the world. Is he in the top 5 in the league?
Who?
Bielsa. That's
No.
outlandish.
Boy,
No.
that's what I thought.
I don't.
I
think,
don't see that.
I don't think
Who would you say the top 5 are? The top 2, obviously.
Klopp and Pep,
Yep,
Jose,
has to be there. Ancelotti has to be there.
Ancelotti,
Who's your 5th?
Brendan.
Why does Jose and Ancelotti have to be?
Huh?
Best man.
I'm
Best
just
managers.
asking a question. Have I
Best
said? I'm just asking a
managers.
question,
Why-
bro.
Been there,
Why
done
do they
that.
have to be there?
Been
Because
there,
they've
done
done
that.
that, got the t-shirt,
'Cause
and
the history.
what they're doing now with their teams as well, I don't think is too bad of a job.
What? I mean, what is Ancelotti doing that much better than you would say a Nuno is doing at Wolves?
I think Ancelotti's doing well with Everton.
Yeah, but isn't Nuno doing well at Wolves?
Nuno's doing well
Who
at
do you think
Wolves as
punching
well.
more?
What do you mean?
Who do you think's punching at their level more, Nuno or Ancelotti?
I think they both punch. I think Ancelotti's doing better.
Why?
I think
He's spent
Ancelotti's
he's spent
maybe
way
been
more
backed
money.
better,
He's
but
got
Don't let's not
James,
act like
he's
Nuno
got-
hasn't
on
been
the face-
backed.
on the face-
James,
Let's
bro.
not
Wait.
act like Nuno.
On the face of things,
that, on a
you know what?
free?
That's no.
On
That's
a free?
what.
That's
That is
using your
that's-
links.
No, but that's
That's using-
That's a
that's
really
using-
good
for
question.
me,
though.
there's
That's a
only
really good
3
question,
good
but
managers in the
I'll rephrase it.
James only
Is-
comes because Ancelotti's there.
No, that's a good question, but I'll rephrase it. Is trying to punch to get into the top 4 a bigger punch than punching to try and a steady Eddie trying to get into Europa League? Because that's
like
essentially what I'm
10th
asking.
as well, or 11th.
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
they're going to try and get into
13th. Wolves
Europa.
hype
Everton are
anyway.
going to try.
They're
and-
13th.
I don't even like it. I just said it.
Why?
I just said it.
You just
But
wanted to
that's
down
your brother.
Ancelotti.
That's
You
your
see,
brother anyway.
that's agenda. Shit out.
Anyway, oh man,
But
nah,
no,
nah, nah.
I would say
I say there's only about 3 managers that I rate:
no.
Who are your 3?
Who's the
Brendan,
top 5?
Pep, and Klopp. That's it.
Who's taking up the other 2 slots? Don't act like
Wait, let me
you're
see.
not gonna put Jose in there because you
I
have to
agree
put
with
Jose
you.
in
I'm
there.
top 5 by the way.
I'll put Jose. Maybe. Wait.
Maybe you
Trying
no,
to-
you will
I'm trying to think who's
by
Who's
force.
the managers in the Prem?
Do you want me to read them out for you?
Hasenhuttl. That's another candidate.
Nuno,
calm, yeah, he's calm.
Moyes,
He's decent, but I would've
Allardyce,
said maybe
Hasenhuttl, Wilder, Bruce, Ole.
Yeah, all right, cool. Moyes,
on, wait.
and Moyes,
Wait.
Moyes and
Are we
Allardyce.
putting Wilder on this list?
Huh?
Because last year, I think you would have
But Wilder's a
snuck
good
him in the
manager.
top 5.
No, we're not putting him in the top 5.
Production last year, was he not top
Wilder's-
5?
Yeah.
Wilder's been
Yeah, of
first
course,
in the
because of the stats, of course. of course. But he's a good manager, though. Trust me. He grabbed them from League 2, or was it League 1? He's not. You can't write off
Wilder
everything
hype.
he's done over one
Boy.
season.
Boy,
Man.
listen,
a
champ
good
and dud of the
manager.
week.
Season wonder.
I still ain't even heard these lists.
Yeah, I said.
Oh, sorry.
I
So
said.
come
You
I
said the
said
top 2,
top 2.
Then you said
Brendan,
Rodgers.
Moyes, and
Moyes is-
Allardyce.
Mourinho.
and Allardyce are your top.
Yeah.
Allardyce.
And
Allardyce and Moyes are better than Jose.
Allardyce and Moyes, bro.
Are better than Jose.
No, I'm not doing
And
that.
Ancelotti.
You guys
Hey
know
fam, listen,
Jose,
our industry's
Jose
in
and Moyes.
disarray.
Jose and Moyes.
Our industry's in disarray.
Ancelotti hype, man. The hell?
Fam, our industry,
Nah,
our
I
industry's in
agree
disarray.
with Fuad. I have Jose, but they're not that great, bro. They're
Oh,
not
sorry.
that great. The Premier League's not got that many great managers, but yeah, I'll put that.
Boy, champ and dud.
Yeah, I'll let you lot go. My champ of the week is Saka, Arsenal, and Smith Rowe. So Arsenal in general, Arteta, all of them bouncing back, doing their thing, people are now starting to we're looking up now with Arsenal as
Rather than
well.
looking behind
After
them.
everything that's gone on to turn it around like this, of course, the game can change. You know, you can fall to the wayside again. But to stick with his tools of playing Smith Rowe, playing Saka, playing Pablo Mari and stuff, I'm going to say that they're my
Partey's still to
champs of
come
the
back
week.
as well.
Partey's still to come back. Listen, the only person that's really letting
still
them
to
down
catch
right
form.
now is Alba. Exactly, it's him. It's only him, but we'll see what happens with him.
I think things are looking
It's
up
not
over
that.
there. Things are looking
Things
up.
are
over
looking
there.
up. Things are looking up. The kids, Hayland, are carrying the club. Only thing I would say
Hayland
about
hype.
Arsenal is that your future right now is in the hands of a 20-year-old and a 19-year-old. That might not be sustainable.
That's a lot of responsibility.
You know,
you know.
that might
It's
not
not
be
even just that.
sustainable.
It's about what we say about.
That's all.
It's
innit?
what we say about young players. When the form dips, let's hope they don't turn. Because
If the form dips,
Smith Rowe is
can
someone
Aubameyang
that's
please rise?
he's had this guy's had
Like, are
injuries.
you going to participate this season or you're just going to be the
fine.
highest paid
At
player?
He's
some
had,
in the Premier
point,
League?
he's
he's
had
got to wake
injuries in
up.
his career. He's come
Brothers
back.
banging
he's been-
straps.
Fam.
Bro,
Come on, man.
that was the
That's
dad.
it.
That was the
it.
guy.
That was it.
That
That
was
is-
the dad I
that
was
is-
thinking
brother.
of. I kept thinking,
think
yo,
for
there was
me,
a
his
dad of
brother
the
was
week
trying to
and I
get him
had.
back.
For me, it might be both of them. You know.
But
For me, it
Nah,
might
I
be
can't
both
even.
of
I
them.
can't even
No,
play it
but
because
I-
Alba's
no.
face.
No.
apparently the full thing, there was all the full video. Like his brother has the shells there.
Everything, and he was
Loading
loading up,
it.
so Alba knew what was going on.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
saw him, and then the thing is, I won't lie, yeah, he bust it on beat though. It was
Cuz-
on beat.
Like,
It was
yo,
on beat.
No,
he
but
was
that's-
off the perks,
That's
bro.
That is for
behavior.
me. That might just have to be my dub because the thing is, yeah, if he gets a game ban for like indecency or whatnot now, yeah, you had the chance to switch off that live, you know,
Cuz,
and his
that's what
brother
I'm saying.
keeps getting him into these predicaments.
Yeah, his
You
brother's
gotta
a
know
madman.
when.
Ain't his brother his agent?
No,
He's like a representative that his brother talks on his behalf. He's not his
yeah,
agent.
I think
Spokesman, you know
he's
that Paul
part of the
Heyman.
team.
Paul Heyman.
He's part of the team.
You know the
Like,
Paul Heyman way.
how long can you keep allowing like your family members and everything? It's kind of put in situations which is for you is not sticky. It's like when Zaha was in the club and they put "Welcome to Arsenal" behind him and he was wilding up.
yeah.
Even on that, my other dud would be all the Premier League ballers that keep getting bagged doing stupidness,
Cuz
even though that was supposed to be in lockdown and everything.
Oh.
In particularly Benjamin Mendy.
And Kyle Walker.
big bum Latinas.
Hey, Dr. Imo be ashamed. A man said what? He requested what? Special request. That is
Big
ridiculous.
bum
Man,
Latino.
That's my-
Pornhub categories.
That's my dud. My champ goes to Amin Yunus. No, not Amin Yunus. Nadim Amiri for that amazing goal. Amazing goal.
Do yourself a
Leverkusen.
favour if you haven't seen that goal.
Oh, the
Nadia
touch in the back
Mamiri.
heel.
Yeah, that was a really
Lord
good goal.
have mercy.
That was a
Really good
madness.
goal.
That was a
What a
madness.
finish.
What about you, Fuad? Who's your...
My champ
Who
of
is
the
this?
week.
Yeah, he's been. Listen, I know people
Florian Wirtz.
people using it for agenda, but Bayer have
Didn't
been
they,
a
I swear
lot.
they
they've
signed
been
him from
good.
Cologne or something, innit?
Yeah, they've been really good without
Bundesliga
Starboy.
lot, you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
Bundesliga. Man,
Man, do you know what my dad of the week?
cultured.
No, who's your champ?
Well,
Oh, you said your dad was Aubameyang's brother.
yeah.
And the
But
champ.
my champ, I'd say best 1-2 punch in the world, as I've been
it's
saying.
fact.
It's
It's
calm
back.
down, mate.
What is it now? Whoa!
Man said, what are
whoa,
they getting
what?
it for?
Hold on.
He's
on.
gonna explain,
Can
he's
I-
gonna
can I-
explain.
can
Go
I-
on,
Man
explain.
ain't even finished.
The bias
So
is
my best
sticking out.
1-2 punch in the world have only just now become the official highest scoring duo in the Premier League in history. 13 goals in a single season, and we're only halfway through. So all this SAS, both of them, York and Cole, Bergkamp and Henry, is a new standard.
Do you know what the difference with all of them are?
I'm just saying, when
I'm
it
just
comes to
saying.
combination
Fair
for
enough.
goals,
But do you know what the difference
there's a
is?
new standard bearer. And that
Standard
difference
bearer.
will be changed.
What are you going to win? The Prem? The Champions League?
It will be changed.
That means SAS. Are you talking
You know
about? Are you
what?
talking
Make
about?
a shout.
Are you
I
talking
heard
about? Are you
it.
talking about Shearer and Sutton? Or are you talking
Shearer,
about
Sutton.
Sturridge and Suarez?
Both, I said.
All right, Shearer and Sutton, Premier
Combined
League.
goals, we got the number 1 spot. baby.
Bergkamp and Henry,
What was
invincibles.
it? Lampard and Drogba?
Boy,
we're now level.
champions.
Say less.
So you
Say
guys are going to be
less.
the only ones on there without
Say
champions.
less.
Without champions.
Say less.
That's not that admirable. But for me,
Wait,
dad of the week.
Sturridge
That's
and
my champ.
No, Sturridge and Suarez didn't win the league. No.
yeah, so they won't be the only.
No,
one.
I've said but I'm said Shearer and Sutton.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, but no
cool.
one, they're nearly men, innit? No one's thinking about Suarez and Sturridge anymore, are we? That's still gonna be the same thing as
Yesteryear.
Kane and
Yesteryear.
Son in a few years,
Listen,
Alright,
unless
cool.
you win.
One,
But
one is all-time
Did
scorer.
you say your
and
champ
the
was?
others-
Oh, that was your champ.
Yeah,
you
those
said
are
who
my
your dad
champs.
is. Have
My
you done
dad.
yours?
no, I've said my champ.
Yeah, who's your dad?
My dad is Kante for his performance today. And also, as I've mentioned before, I was speaking in production, I would like everybody's apology to be as loud as their slander, because I'm seeing a lot of people change their mind on Kante. And when I said it, I was abused, and it hurt my feelings. And it really hurt my feelings. So now I'd like the apology to be as loud as the slander. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry, guys. It might get you mad, but I want my apology. Or go delete all your comments on 360, because I'm coming. I'm coming for all them comments. I'm coming for all them comments.
You're doing a review.
I'm gonna do a review, boy. BAR on this. That's what I'm saying.
Will be named
Thank
and
you.
shamed.
That's
Yep.
too funny. And the thing is, he's got the time. He's actually jobless
This
enough to
guy's
sit
petty.
down. He actually
Listen,
find
I
it.
will go and find them posts. I'll go and find the initial one where they get after Kante had a few good games against Burnley and Sheffield, and he's back and blah blah blah. And Cam's done. And better get this guy off the podcast. And blah, blah.
Hey, why do they want you off the pod so bad?
I don't know, man. They don't want me off the pod, man. They don't want me
Listen.
to win at all.
I've
Crazy.
got a controversial dud, but all I'm gonna say is our industry's in disarray.
And you're a dad as well. You're one of my dads.
Oh,
You're one of my dads. as
Right.
well. Yeah.
Why- why-
You're one of my dads.
let's
in the
go.
weekend
Let's
as
go.
well.
What happened here?
You changed your mind way too much in the
Me?
last week. Yeah, so you're my dad still.
Like I said,
my dad.
like you said, given context,
Listen,
things can
I
change.
gave you. I gave
Man,
you.
his culture comes. I know you what's going on in the culture.
Listen,
Anyway, man,
I
that's
gave
another.
you, once upon a time, I gave him champ of the week. You're gonna be the first dad of the week. as well.
no. I think
Sorry.
Fuad had done a week before still. But
That's
it's
not-
cool.
Has he?
Fuad had one before
When?
still. A while ago when you did a video.
Don't
and
try
you-
to deflect to me, because I ain't
No,
had no done
you
of the week.
have.
From who?
You have
From who?
from production.
Did you give me one?
Production's giving
You don't
me done of
remember?
the week.
Liar. Dud.
Listen, and on that bombshell, we're out. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. Oh, man, switch look. Oh, the other one's still on. And yeah, man. Listen, we're out. Man's just going, what's the man them doing, bro?